So now let's understand about the very crucial application of computer vision is finding out a distance calculation. Okay, and the practical use case would be anything. Why? Because let's say that whenever you wanted to calculate a distance, okay, between the two object, okay, then how do you basically calculate it, right? That is the number one question, and that is also like provided by the Ultralytics solution repo. Okay, I will like walk you through this as well. Okay, so let me give you the glimpse of like today's video, like what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to first of all like finding out the localization, okay, then size estimation. Then let's say I wanted to understand the seam, okay, or let's say that I wanted to understand the collision between the two objects, okay. All these things are a very distance related problem, right? Because let's say that if you are actually like trained your object detection model, right, and between the two different object, if you really wanted to find out the distance between the two different object, okay, and there would be many other scenario as well. Let's say in medical term, if I wanted to tell you, right, so in the medical term, let's say that there is something called as a quarantine zone, okay. So if you really wanted to like calculate the distance between the patient and the quarantine zone distance, okay, and if the patient is actually like at the very safest distance or not, okay, so that could be the one problem. The other problem that you might occur is the vehicle collision avoidance problem, right? That you have a two different vehicle of two different class ID, and if you really wanted to like find out the distance between that, okay, then how can this problem can tackle or solve this issue, right? So the point is that again, like in the Ultralytics solution repo, you will find out the distance calculation. Okay. Now the logic of this would be that it is basically calculating the pixel level distance. Now when I say about pixel level distance, now what does that mean? It means that distance is not as accurate as like we see completely in the real life scenario, because of course the camera is actually the CCTV, right? The camera is IP camera, and it is actually like the video is streaming on that camera. Okay. So unless you are not changing the resolution, okay, the video is actually feeding into your system. So you are actually like calculating the pixel level distance. Okay, just understand the distance may not be accurate, but as accurate to get you a good understanding about the two different objects, so that you can actually find out a good approximation of what the entire scenario. Okay, so let me go through the code and then just show you the implementation part. Okay, so let me first see that like where I can like apply this kind of problem. See, I have this conveyor belt problem, right? And this is the one of the issue, right? Because the conveyor belt problem, let's say that some of those suitcases are damaged, okay, and some of these suitcases, let's say if we really wanted to find out the distance between two of these suitcases, okay, so how can actually like try to find out. And the other scenario would be, let me see one other video. Okay, I think we can actually like try to find out this video as well, right? So this is like the truck unloading or loading video. Okay, and if you really wanted to like calculate the distance, let's say that these two vehicle, okay, so if I really wanted to find that whether the loading scenario is actually been occur in a very spacious environment or not, okay, and if you really wanted to like calculate the distance between these two motorcycles, then is it possible in this scenario to find out the distance? The answer is yes. Okay, because we can actually like find out the pixel level distance. So let me just hop back to code and then show you, right? So let me just use this airport conveyor belt. If I just copy this path, just put it here. Okay, right? And now let's say that I really wanted to like not detect anything. That's it, right? So class, I am just keeping it, and again I am again following the same thing. What I am following again, I am just like from the Ultralytics class I am importing the solution, and inside, let's say, the from the solution I'm actually calling this distance calculation method. Okay, and all the logics has been written over inside this. Okay, the logic which I have already told you that it is basically the pixel level distance. So let's say that just understand the logic. That's it, because the logic has already been pre-written by the Ultralytics team. Okay, just understand the logic. So let's say that I have one object here and I have another object here. So can I just find out the bounding box coordinate or the ID of this object? The answer is yes. Can I able to find out the object ID of this object? The answer is yes. Can I able to find out the center coordinate? And can I able to find out the center coordinate of these two objects, right? And then if I get the center coordinate means what? Center coordinate means center pixels, okay? The center pixels value. So can I just find out the center pixel value of this object 1 and this object 2, and using the Euclidean distance we can able to find out, because as this the same object with the same tracking ID will actually move forward in the same present frame, right? Then I can able to calculate the distance, right? Then the question might occur that what if the tracking ID change? Okay, if the tracking ID change, then there will be issue, because this one has to be like connected with the same tracking ID which is already there. That is why I am actually using this tracker, which is like bot shot tracker. So what will happen is that, suppose that you actually trained your tracker very much, so that in any of this video get pixelated in between, the pixel get cracked, right? So that tracking ID should not get changed. Okay, the tracking ID should remain unchanged. Okay, that is why you should train your tracker, object tracker, in such a way so that even though there is a breakage in the video, you will get a good tracking ID. Okay, and if you get the good tracking ID, and if you able to like detect the object with the stable tracking ID across the video frame over the period of time, then it is well and good. You can actually try to use this distance calculation problem. Okay, so again I am just passing the parameter as model. I am actually passing my model, I am passing my tracker, and then again I am like using the cv2 library. I am just opening my video camera, okay, which I am already captured it from like cv2 video capture. I am opening till the video is like getting indent. Okay, and then I'm actually capturing frame by frame, and after each frame I am actually giving it inside the distance calculator method. Okay, inside this method, with this, along with this method, so that I can get the result. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's try to run it, right? So if you could see this one, right? Now if you really wanted to like calculate, you can actually calculate, see. So this is basically like the distance. So I am just clicking with my mouse, right? So let's say that if I just wanted to calculate between these two suitcases, I can see, you can actually see the pixel level, right? As this conveyor belt is actually moving forward, okay? I am able to calculate a distance between two suitcases, okay? So this one. So you can actually try to find out in this way the distance calculation. Let me try to use some other example which I have already showed you, the truck unloading part, right? So let me just copy this path here and let me just paste it. And the code is very simple, like all chairs to Ultralytics theme, so that they have actually like written all this logic so that the user can get a very compatible solution, right? So this one, and then let me give the class as well, right? So let me give some class. So let me give something as, let's say that I want to detect something as 2 3. Okay, 2 is like something for, 2 is for car and 3 is for motorcycle. Okay, and if I really wanted to like calculate the distance, I can do that. Let me just try to run it again. Right, so this is actually the motorcycle. Let me use this one. See, this is basically the pixel level distance. Okay, I have just clicked my like cursor from this 2, and then 2 is what? 2 is basically the tracking ID of that detected object. Okay, and 8 is what? 8 is the tracking ID of this detected object. Okay, and this is actually detecting one perfect class. So between these two, I would able to get the pixel level distance between two vehicle. Okay, so there are many use cases. You can actually try and come out with a lot more use cases and then try to do it by yourself. Okay, so this is basically the scenario for distance calculation provided by the Ultralytics solution in the computer vision project. Okay, so you can actually try it out in so many videos. Write in the comment, come up with so many entire use cases, and then try to make it public so that everyone can get used of it, right? Thank you.